Hello guys. So DMZ has been a little weird to play recently, and I wanted to talk about my issues specifically with the new wallet system, how much DMZ gameplay has changed, and what we might expect from the new game coming soon. First off, they added the new wallet system in Season 4, and at first it seemed like a great idea. We could finally use our cash between rounds, and it actually had value now. However, after my first few successful exfils, I realized that it kind of trivialized the entire point of DMZ as an extraction game. Now, when my character dies, I simply put 75k from my wallet into my new character, and bam, run to a buy, off spawn, instantly re-gear, 3 plate vest, self-revive, large bag. With the new stash improvements, I have about 40 contraband guns that I've curated that are almost meta now. Gone are the days of regain rounds and trying to exfil once you have decent gear just to keep it for the next round. And not only that, since the addition of multiple operators, you can just rinse repeat, taking a new character in, 75k, fully re-gear, extract. You now have multiple fully geared operators that you can just use back to back. Since Season 5, I have not used a single key to open locked rooms to get loot, nor have I bothered to do contracts to get cash. I've almost stopped using bartering too. And right now, the easiest way to get cash is, you guessed it, kill players, who also have oceans of cash lying around. So if you kill a couple of teams in a round, you often extract with your bags completely full, 250k. Now, I do realize that this comes from a place of privilege. I play in a 2 or 3 man team that plays well and often uses the success from previous rounds to dominate the next. We are part of the problem. With this current system, the rich get richer. Solo players and those playing more casually simply cannot compete with grouped players effortlessly re-gearing every round and buying multiple kill streaks every game. It also doesn't help that once everyone's done their missions, players have nothing else to do than just kill and ruin other players. Sometimes when an enemy team kills me, they don't even loot my body. They just move straight onto the next group. There needs to be a limit on how much cash you can take out and bring in each round. There are already so many ways to carry over success between rounds. But yeah, essentially, I think the wallet system needs a complete overhaul. It's my biggest concern right now. And talking of the larger teams, last season they added and then removed the truce system alongside Assimilation, which meant that when you were picked up by another team, you didn't join them instantly, but instead you were invulnerable to each other for just 30 seconds. Unfortunately, 30 seconds isn't nearly long enough, and players would just revive each other to grief and then kill them 30 seconds later. With the truce system replacing auto-assimilation, it also meant that players didn't bother reviving others anymore because they didn't instantly join their team easily. It just wasn't worth it anymore. It was so bad that it clearly affected the player numbers, so the developers changed it back almost instantly. If they had made the truce mechanic much longer and made the system for assimilating versus trucing easier, then it would work perfectly. Imagine if you downed a player and when you get to their body, there are 2 options. Press interact to instantly assimilate, or hold interact to have a truce. The truce would then last up to 5 minutes, meaning teams can't just wait a short time before re-killing the player. Or maybe the truce could end once the revived player was over a certain distance, say 500 meters away from the closest player in that squad. What I'm trying to say is there is definitely a place for the truce system that works with the current system as well. There are still a lot of scenarios where we don't want to bring people into our team through assimilation, especially since extracting with an assimilated team stops mission items working. And since we're on the topic of bugs, there are still some bugs that we're dealing with since launch. Now, I don't know about you, but I haven't used a custom gun skin in Warzone since about Season 2. I found that if you try and use any custom skins or tuning, the game will often delete my guns on spawn. Surely, this is definitely something that Call of Duty would want to fix if they want to promote monetization from buying skins for DMZ. We've also recently found that if we're trying to extract mission or bounty items, but we've assimilated above 3 players, when you go to extract, you'll find those items have not counted unless you all extract separately in threes. Alongside this, when you actually assimilate with your teammates, health and cash doesn't display correctly, sometimes showing that your teammate is dead when they aren't. And then more recently, we've had major issues with reviving teammates, where their body is suspended in the air and they become unrevivable until you push them with a vehicle or blow them up. And these things aren't just little bugs and glitches that you forget about. These are essentially game-breaking bugs that have been in since launch that should absolutely be a focus. Something else I've noticed is that the suspense or jeopardy from DMZ is almost gone, especially in Al Mazrah towards the end of a round. Since they've added crochet entrances and personal exfil, everyone easily extracts from the game without really being noticed. Final exfil is dead in most rounds. Is it too easy to extract safely now, or is it that players are being wiped out by other teams in the match earlier? I know most players are just happy to extract just to survive, but there's a clear difference between the intensity in DMZ from Season 1 to Season 5. The risk factor just isn't really there anymore. It's more of a let's stick around and see if anyone turns up than I really need to survive this round. And something else that should have absolutely been a focus from launch, 6-man pre-made teams. Listen, you're sick of hearing it, but it has been about 8 months and absolutely nothing has been done to stop specifically the pre-made larger team. However, I do now understand why a lot of the people who watch my videos don't understand the issue. Recently, I've been playing on US servers with Fixate and Westy, and guess what? There are almost no pre-made assimilated teams in the US servers. It turns out that pre-made teams, both Chinese or otherwise, is primarily an EU server issue. Frankly, EU servers are a nightmare to play in comparison to the US servers. The dev team allegedly said that they were watching the issue, but if they're watching the US servers, then technically to them, there is no problem. If you play on EU or US, please let me know your experience with larger teams. For me, when I play specifically EU, I cannot go a single round without there being at least one pre-made team hunting me down in the round with no in-game comms. Whereas when I play on US, almost all the 6-man teams are randomly assimilated, so they're using the in-game voice, which is unorganized and gives away their position, kind of balancing it. Regardless, this also ties in with the wallet system from earlier. The pre-made teams on EU are now so organized, they bring in oceans of cash from previous rounds, they buy out every kill streak on the map from every buy, take the heavy chopper, grab an MRAP or two, and then just destroy the entire server almost uncontested. I've had people on EU servers telling me that the pre-made 6-man teams also have cheater friends, giving them hacked items that give them even more cash, unlimited kill streaks, and unlimited plates. So even if the cheater isn't playing in the squad at the time, they give them items that won't get them banned. They obviously let this get out of control. But yeah, let me know in the comments, are you from the EU or US, and what are your thoughts regarding DMZ at the moment? Is everyone experiencing these issues, or is the game working great in your region? Let me know. Anyway, as for the new game being announced on the 17th of this month, will DMZ still be a part of the Warzone space? Will they continue to add major content to DMZ, or will it slowly die? We've already had hints that night maps are coming to DMZ with night vision goggles in Al Mazrah, and most vehicles now spawn with their headlights on. For me, I hope we'll get another year of DMZ content with the new game, but I feel like that might be it, at least for this iteration of a COD extraction shooter. If you agree with anything I've said in this video, then give it a like, or a dislike if you don't, and let me know why. And I'll be showcasing the reveal and the details of the new game next week, so make sure you're subscribed for more DMZ news and updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.